S6-Ep07.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Radio Labyrinth. This is Season 6, Episode 7. Episode 7, everyone is here. Me, we have Dustin, I see. Hello, Dustin.
Hey, Big Daddy. How you doing?
All right. Jeff Lieboff.
What's up, Pops?
I like Pops. And, of course, blinded by the snowstorm that's hitting the Northeast in solidarity with them is Snellville Steph.
What's up, Daddy Fat Sacks?
Daddy Fat Stacks.
Daddy Fat Sacks.
Oh, Fat Sacks. You mean what, those?
Nah.
They're not...
I'm stealing from Big Boy, you know.
Oh.
That's one of his monikers, Daddy Fat Sacks.
Daddy Fat Sacks.
That ninja that likes those Cadillacs.
Shit. Jeff's actually the only person to ever play anybody named Big Daddy in a play. So I'm going to allow him to continue using that title, Big Daddy.
Is it what is that from? Was it Golden Girls play?
No.
What was it, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof? Huh?
Yes, Cat on the Hot Tin Roof.
Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. There you are. Wondered what happened to you. Yeah, so the big announcement that Caitlin made, my wife made on Good Day Atlanta, which is Fox 5's morning show. She anchors the Saturday and Sunday show. She made the big announcement yesterday, so I can tell everybody now I'm going to be a father. She's going to be a mother. We're going to have a child. That's usually how that works, I guess.
Yay, congrats.
Thank you. At age 50, and I got so many, just so many people, so nice on Facebook and on Twitter, all her coworkers. It was really cool. I mean, oddly, not a peep from anyone who hosts the radio show I'm on. I mean, 3 whole hours today, not one peep, but, hey, whatever.
That's not why you do that show.
No, but it would have been nice to, hey, congratulations to Tim Andrews, our guy, our long running. I've known the guy for over 20 years, and, I hear he's going to be a nah, nothing.
Maybe they don't watch Fox.
Well, it was all over social media. So anyway, I'm not going to linger on that. I'm just going to let it go and see how long it takes him to say anything. Jared will probably say something tomorrow. But anyway, so I'm excited about that. I mean, I'm going to be old man dad, going to be 50, running around, cleaning diapers, picking up, binkies and smelling baby smell. I've never smelled that.
Are you guys going to burn half of Georgia down with a gender reveal party?
No, I don't know what we have planned for that, but I'm sure it'll be simple because we're not crazy or millennials. I mean, there'll be a social media element to it. She's way better at it than I am. And, I like how she does things. I'm the photographer, and I used to be
She looked stunning in her pregnancy pictures.
Oh, I'll tell her you said
She looked beautiful. She really did.
Yeah, I don't like any of that stuff, but I'm learning to. So I have to, you have to support, right? You can't be a dick your whole life. I spent 50 years being a dick. I think I would have put the hammer down. No more being a dick.
Give it a shot. Who knows? This might work for you.
It might. I'm sure it will. I think that it will, because you can't be a dick. I mean, you can, but, we've all seen those movies where, the dad was a dick and then the kid ends up, on heroin.
Or a serial killer.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of serial killers, how are we doing on Finger Lakes Sam? Or Syracuse Sam, the Finger Lakes slasher?
For what he's coming together slowly but surely.
Yes.
But yeah, it's we should be able to get some teasing stuff out at least here in the next little bit.
So that means I have to actually record some of my lines.
You're going to need to.
Helpful.
Yeah, it would help.
All right. I'm making a note. But no,
I'm looking to get a teaser. I'm looking to get a teaser out here soon, which we could still do. So that's not a problem.
Sort of like him on the phone, and then you hear the you know what I mean? Like the dial code. When you hang up the phone, you hear the I don't know.
Wow. So
I
it's
will
like the
record them.
30s on the radio.
I'll record them tomorrow or Wednesday morning and get them to you ASAP. I can't wait to do it. There's a whole big Finger Lakes a conspiracy theory going on because of the president's son Hunter has the Finger Lakes tattooed on his back. If you've happened to see pictures of him without a shirt on, he has the Finger Lakes tattooed on his back. And the nut jobs, the crazies, have a conspiracy theory going. I mean, this conspiracy never ends with these weirdos. And they have like the Finger Lakes is home for trafficking and murder and all that stuff. We're not going to go down that road. We're just going to talk about
Perfect for our backstory.
Yeah, sure.
We got a built-in audience. Great.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See this podcast. It's supposed to be a joke. They're giving us subtle clues. You love it.
Don't go to Cayuga Lake.
Stay away from Cayuga.
After
Cayuga Lake, Lake Juanita Lake, which is a small one. That's the one I like. I like small lakes. So I was wondering what kind of TV dad I would be, which one I would closely emulate the most, and which one I would probably be least like. Maybe you guys could throw in, if you had a guess, who would I be closest to in your imagination or in your mind?
Elf's dad.
Baby Andrew, could you please stop whining and eating the cat?
Yeah, I was thinking Al Bundy, just a smidge of Al Bundy.
Well, yeah, I have that in me.
I was thinking a touch of Red Foreman.
Don't be a dumbass. Don't be a dumbass.
I think it's going to depend on if you have boys or girls.
Yeah. Well, we'll reveal that shortly. But speaking of, what's his name? Not Abe Foreman. What's his name? Red Foreman. Abe Foreman is the Sausage King of Chicago.
Abe Froman.
Froman, yeah. Abe Froman. But no, that guy, I know him better as Clarence Boddicker. Yeah. And that's my favorite role with that guy in it, Clarence Boddicker. RoboCop.
Is that what you can name the boy? If it's a boy, you can name him RoboCop.
Mm-hmm. Or a girl. We're going to name it RoboCop.
Clarence is a great name.
Mm-hmm. Clarence. No one's named Clarence anymore.
Unless you're in a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah. Or a saxophone player for Bruce Springsteen.
Just promise me if it's a girl, you're not going to name her something like Mississippi or something stupid like that. You know?
Why would we do that? We'd name her Arkansas.
St. Pauli's girl.
Idaho. We named her Idaho. So just stay tuned. I'll give you guys updates. But it's exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah. I'm gonna babysit.
Yeah. And you'll babysit and dog sit.
Yeah. I'll do both. Yeah, I'll do both. Yeah, sounds cool to me. I don't want it yet, though. I mean, I'll take it when it's like one. I don't like it when they're all little and alien-y like. They're just gross and they're weird. I don't want anything to do with them. The little fontanelle, any of that. I don't want anything to do with any of that.
That worries me as well.
Yeah.
It's overblown.
Is it?
Yeah. It's most of that stuff that you're so scared of from things you've heard before, mostly just fly right by. I mean, it's never even an issue, but to each his own.
Well, you have 4, right? 4 children?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've got two boys, 2 girls, from 11 to 23.
Damn.
So yeah, it's fun. I mean, it is the best life-changing thing that ever happened to me. And I was very cynical about. Of course, I started very young. I was cynical anyway.
Yeah, you're 12, right?
Yeah, right before I turned 20 we started. And so it's one of those things that it flies by really fast, and making sure that you're there for all the little things that seem like they're the nonstop from the beginning, but everything gets easier. It's like, you take it in, you learn to love things that you would normally despise. I mean, changing diapers, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, it's as gross as it sounds, but I mean, it's still something that you look back on fondly, weirdly enough.
Let me talk about that for a second. I changed diapers before. I changed my brother's diaper when he was a kid. I was 10 or 11 or whatever, and he was a baby. So I've changed his diaper. But when I first moved to Atlanta, the couple that I lived with had a daughter, and she was almost a year old, I think, when I moved here, maybe a couple of whatever. I just remember lots of things, lots of benchmarks. I saw her walk for the first time or the second time or whatever. She was one of those kids that was determined to walk. She like crawled for like 2 minutes and then I'm ready. And which I think is kind of cool to watch. But one night I was babysitting her while her parents went out. They had moved to Gainesville and he was a teacher up there. So they came to Atlanta for the night and I was watching her. And there was also a dog in my apartment that belonged to my roommate. And I went to change her on the floor of the living room, not thinking, oh, you better put the dog away. And she had a big turd, in the diaper. And the dog came over and started licking the diaper. And I'm freaking out. And then next thing you know, there is dog hair all over the baby and all over the baby changing pad. And I'm freaking out. So I just picked her up, took her to the shower, made sure it wasn't too hot, and put her under the shower to clean everything off.
I changed my name Hi from Raising Arizona. I think that's the dad you'd be.
Hi. Yeah, I'll be taking these Huggies and whatever cash you got in the register.
But it's funny. I mean, it's life with a child is everyday instances like that.
Yeah.
Where you've got to adapt and figure something out and just, get to the next day. And it's funny how, you do that for so long and then you look back on it and it's something you cherish when it was, a fiasco at the time.
Well, I will tell you, Tim, while I never have had my own child,
Mm-hmm.
I was a Lamaze coach.
Oh.
And I did hold somebody's leg while they pushed a baby out, and it was fucking disgusting. Horrible. Probably still to this day one of the grossest things I've ever seen, smelled, or been near in my entire life. And then she kicked the pads off of the table, and they threw them on my ex-boyfriend's jacket, which I did not know, and amnio fluid all over his jacket. And anyway, it was disgusting. So.
Well,
fun.
Well, awesome.
Welcome to fatherhood, Tim.
Yes. Dustin and Ira will be my lifelines from Radio Labyrinth on that.
Wait for the mucus plug.
Okay, I don't want to hear any more about that. We are going to move on. Hey, just some housekeeping. You can become a Radio Labyrinth Patreon member if you go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews. Two of our producers were involved in a little game last week that everybody says I made it too hard, but I don't think I made it too hard. But anyway, so I want to thank again Roby and Emily, and both of them are getting T-shirts. I decided so.
Aw.
Yeah, I mean for the inaugural game and how difficult it was, and because they were good sports. So that's what I'm going to do, and also stickers. So get that stuff out in the mail to you guys ASAP. Please, please, if you're not on our Facebook page or in the Radio Shack, follow both of those pages. I remembered at the last minute to post, hey, if you want to ask a question or if you want to suggest your own staff pick, post it here. I think we got a couple. I know I have one or two, which we'll get to later, but do that. And you can also follow us on Twitter at radio_Labyrinth. You could follow all of these Yahoos as well. Somebody just got verified. I don't want to say who that is because I don't.
What?
Yeah. I was just looking before I went to bed last night. I looked at my Twitter account and I said, "You've been followed by Twitter verified." And I went, why did they follow me? And then I looked and I had that little blue check mark and I felt validated for the first time in my life. I'm like Navin Johnson seeing his name in the phone book.
If they kicked Donnie off, they need to get everybody that can verified.
Yeah. Don Knotts, he's not on Twitter. Oh, you mean the other Don. Yeah. Don Knotts would have been great on Twitter. Just, being honest. Yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, we have one of our Radio Labyrinth Patreon members is appearing in an episode of Forged in Fire, the show that we're all into. Most of us are into. Are we all into that show?
I am.
Yeah, he's a contestant. That episode airs the first Wednesday in March. So we're going to be hyping it up. We're just not going to say who it is. And then we're going to talk to them after the episode airs and see how it went. And I've heard from this person and I'm excited. So, that's kind of cool, ain't it?
I'm very excited. I can't wait.
The Super Bowl is, well, wait a minute. Today, this show comes out. It's February 3rd, 2021, which means it's Groundhog Day. And let's hope that we don't get 6 more weeks of masks. And what do you call a groundhog where you're from? I call it, well, I don't call it a groundhog. I've always called it a woodchuck. But I knew people growing up who called it a whistle pig. But never groundhog, not until the movie came out. I mean, I knew what a groundhog was, but I didn't know it was necessarily a woodchuck. So anyway, anybody going to watch the classic Bill Murray movie tomorrow?
If it's on. I'm not going to seek it out, but if it's on, I'll watch it. I always watch it if it's on, especially whenever he goes, Ned Ryerson.
Yeah. Don't you think TBS should just air it 24 hours like they do with A Christmas Story every year?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Jeff, are we allowed to mention the person you were talking about last week yet?
Who?
The brother of a person in a movie that we're just talking about right now.
Oh, yeah. I haven't reached back out to him yet, but I will.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
we can say that.
All right. Which one is it?
Joel.
And what would we know Joel from?
From
Moving Violations?
Yeah. No,
Yes.
that's John.
Oh,
Moving
that's
Violations.
John.
Joel is One Crazy Summer.
Crazy Summer.
And the Bobcat movies.
Yeah.
And Mad Men.
Scrooged?
He was in Scrooged.
He was in Groundhog's Day.
Okay.
He was at the Trivial Pursuit party.
Right on. Well, that's cool. What's he in town shooting something?
Yeah, he's shooting Heels, that wrestling show that's going to be on Stars.
Oh my God.
Sweet.
I can't. I'm going to have to get Stars.
Yeah, me too.
Damn it.
Well, good. I hope you can line that up. That's exciting. I'm excited about that. So I guess that takes care of everything I wanted to say. Did you guys have anything you wanted to add before we talk about what we watched and give our staff picks this week?
You'd be like Mr. Brady.
Huh?
I'm trying to think of more TV dads that you could
Like
be
20 minutes later.
Oh, yeah. You mean gay?
Yeah. If we're being real about it.
Living a lie like Mr. Brady? Or like the dad on the Partridge Family, absent? Was he a widow on the Partridge Family? Because they weren't allowed to have divorce. Yeah, they weren't allowed to have divorced people. Mary Tyler Moore, Mary Richards was divorced, but they weren't allowed to say it in the 70s because for some reason it would upset people, even though, people like left and right were getting divorced all over the country. But for some reason, she wasn't allowed to say she was divorced. Just like I think the Bradys were the first TV couple to be shown in the same bed. And that's what, 70, 71. I mean, I don't think that's a 60s show that I can remember.
Yeah, that was back when they used to refer to people with same-sex couples, especially women. They would call them women with comfortable shoes, or weird euphemisms for things that were not in their vocabulary, or you couldn't say on national television.
I don't think they even referred to people like that. I mean, can you think of the first trans person you ever saw on television?
Not as a child. I mean, not as a teenager even. It would have
Did
to
you
be.
guys all watch The Lady in the Dale on HBO? It started last night.
No.
That's what I thought you were leading into, because the lady is a trans.
Who invented a car? Yeah, it looks really cool. I watched the trailer on HBO Max last night, so I want to watch that. But yeah, that looks good. She invented a car. She did it on her own. She did it. Invented a car, and it looks like a really cool show. And then they don't reveal it in the trailer that she's trans until about halfway through. And I'm looking at her going, oh, well, she looks like an older 70s lady, not a lot of makeup. And okay, that makes sense. But no, I'm talking about Divine on All in the Family.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Deep cut.
Yeah. But Archie, all right, whatever, But no, Jeff, that movie or that series, it's a series, right? A miniseries?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. I think I'm going to watch it because I like all that 70s stuff.
And it's done by the Duplass brothers, so it's going to be quality.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I think I'll watch it.
Well, there's a lot of animation in it, like kind of like that Mike Judge backstage country series. What was the name of that?
Oh, Back on the Bus?
Yeah, Tales from
Or
the
Tales
Bus or
from the
whatever.
Bus.
Yeah, he did it with country music and with
Right.
rap, right? Hip hop.
But you know how they tell the stories using animation because they don't have actual footage of this stuff, and that's what's happening a lot in this Lady in the Dale documentary.
All right, that sells it. I'm going to watch it. I'm currently obsessed with watching something else right now that I'm trying to get caught up, and it's going to take me a while. But we'll get there. We'll get there. So Jeff, what did you watch this week?
I watched those 2 episodes of Lady in the Dale that were on last night on HBO. I finished The Wilds on Amazon. That was real good.
Now, what's the Wilds again?
That was those. There's like these girls that are in a plane crash and they have to live on this beach, but then there's other stuff going on, like they're being observed as part of like a experiment.
So it has some cabin in the woods elements to it, and what's that book?
Lost.
Not Lost, but
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah,
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah, kind of like that. You guys watching the Go Big show? I know we haven't talked about it on here.
No,
it's been on for a couple weeks now. It's a Bert
saw the ad
Kreischer
for it. Yeah,
TBS show.
Is it a sitcom or a game show?
No, it's a game show. It's like people that couldn't get on America's Got Talent or American Idol or something.
Mm-hmm. So they all suck?
I mean, the talents are bizarre shit, like circus acts and feats of strength and kids in wheelchairs going off ramps and shit.
Like jackass stuff?
Yeah, some jackass stuff.
I might watch that. I mean
who are the hosts?
It's Rosario Dawson, some wrestler dude, the chick from Sugarland, and Snoop Dogg are the judges, and Bert Kreischer is the host.
All right, Bert Kreischer, you sell me on, but the lady,
he's so underused on the show. They don't. He hasn't got to be funny really at all.
So Jennifer Nettles and Snoop Dogg?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Well, that's the lady.
Don't quote me on that. I think that's who it is. I don't know. I'm not positive. And then some wrestler dude.
I'm still mad at Jennifer Nettles for this dumbass song she did with John Bon Jovi.
What song is that?
It's a fucking pandemic song.
Oh, no interest.
It's awful. And they talk about social distancing. I will keep my social distance. Blah, 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 blah.
Shove it up your ass.
Find a vaccination.
Who the fuck wants to hear songs about it or see a TV show, or there's a movie out called, isn't there a movie called Pandemic or Together Again or Together Alone or Together?
A few, yeah.
Yeah. No one wants.
Why do you want to timestamp?
Yeah.
That? Let it go.
Wait 10 years, when we're still wearing masks.
I just wondered if any of you guys are watching that. I mean, it's fun to have on like in the background, but you don't really have to pay attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
Bert, I'll watch anything with Bert, but I would say he's underused.
Does he take his shirt off?
He has a couple times.
Nice. One of the few comedians whose penises I've seen.
Yeah, so let's see. I watched The Stand, this week's episode of The Stand.
Mm-hmm.
The Expanse, season 5, episode 9. Turns out there's going to be another season after this one.
Good.
So season 6 is the final season, not season 5. I think there's only one episode to go on this season 5. Oh, I started watching the show on Amazon called The Great Escapists, which is
good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's Richard Hammond from Top Gear.
Mm-hmm.
And Tori Belleci from Mythbusters, and the story is they're shipwrecked on this island, and like these cargo containers washed up on the shore, and so they have to try and survive just with only the shit that they could rescue from their boat and the stuff they find in these cargo containers.
Sounds cool.
So it's pretty fun. There's some like weird plot devices where they like battle each other, like who can build a better, because they need to tow heavy stuff from the shipwreck to the camp.
Do any of them have a soccer ball that they fuck?
Yeah, they do have a soccer ball, but they call it what's the other guy's name from Top Gear?
Jeremy?
Will?
Yeah, Jeremy. That's what they call him. Jeremy.
Jeremy Corbyn, isn't it?
And it's something like that.
Corbett? I don't know. I don't watch that show.
I haven't really watched it either. I've seen it a couple times, but
The new Top Gear is streaming. I haven't got a chance to check it out yet. The one Dax Shepperd is hosting it now.
That's the American Top Gear.
Yeah, because they had the one guy,
Jeremy Clarkson. Excuse me. Jeremy
Clarkson was. That's the name of the. They make the soccer ball into a dummy.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Buster from MythBusters.
Okay.
So they call him Clarkson.
Okay.
It's pretty funny. It's on Amazon. I think it's only 6 episodes. It was a fun watch. My staff pick is going to be Fast Foodies, which starts this week on True TV. It's a bunch of contestants from different food competition shows that compete to reimagine fast food, like the Egg McMuffin or Big Mac and stuff like that. But these are actual chef versions of those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And the panel's like comedians and stuff, so I think it should be pretty funny. It starts this week on True TV.
Cool. All right. I watched WandaVision episode 4. I enjoyed it. I like how they're pulling the curtain back so you can see what's going on behind the scenes. And I think that we've seen from this show now that Wanda's controlling everything. Spoiler alert. Reviewing season 2 of The Expanse. With show the Agdashlu. We have to not go to war with Mars or the other planet.
She's still on season 5.
That's good. I like Shohora Agdashlu. One female actress I can do sort of an impression of. Last week I watched Todd Barry's crowd work. He did a stand-up special from his couch, sitting down, just kind of making fun of the people in the Zoom chat. And I like to support comedians that I really, really like, and he's one of them. So it was worth it. It was enjoyable, and I got quite a few laughs out of it. So if you follow or like comedians on social media and you see that they're doing something like that, give it a shot if you haven't yet, because it's pretty cheap, especially if you get in early. They usually offer deals. I'm thinking about getting Marilyn Rice-Cubs, and Maria Bamford has them all the time. So if you like Maria Bamford,
Patton Oswalt's got one coming out too. I watched that Dr. Katz one last weekend.
Was it good?
It was okay. It should have been organized better. Like they just kind of winged it.
Yeah. The only disappointing one I've seen so far is the Johnny Brennan one, but not because of him, because of the guy that ran it. I thought it was kind of annoying. Really not a lot of TV out there that I'm interested in right now. But I did pre-order an audiobook that I'm going to make my staff pick. And that is May You Live in Interesting Times, a memoir by Lorraine Newman. It is exclusive to Audible, comes out on March 11th. But I bought it, and I can't wait to listen to it. I believe she narrates it. And she tells tales from Saturday Night Live, a lot of stuff that you may not have heard from the books, and from her perspective, I believe it's her first memoir. So that is my staff pick.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to listen to that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Liz.
I watched Flack, all of Flack.
I've seen commercials for it. Was it good?
Yeah, it was. It was very
True Blood.
It was very dark, and it takes a lot because I have an Anna Paquin hatred.
Yeah, you don't like her.
I don't, but it's perfect for this show because she's not a good person at all. So you're not really supposed to like her.
Mm-hmm.
She's a massive fuck up. And she's one of these people that just consistently does everything she can to ruin her life. But all the characters around her, it's mostly British people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just her and the girl that plays her sister are the only Americans because it all takes place in the UK. And it's pretty good. I liked it a lot. I mean, I rolled right through it. So Flack was pretty good. I watched 30 minutes of Mr. Robot Homicide Detective. So terrible. Absolutely horrible. I don't know what Rami Malek is going to do for the rest of his life because he's already done Freddie Mercury. There's nothing left for him to do.
Lots of people with sunken cheeks.
It's just so, he didn't even go from thinking Denzel was a piece of crap to having a begrudging respect for him. I mean, there's no transition, and Denzel seems like he's playing off of a sandbag. Like there's nothing there for him to work with. And, he's just kind of, I don't know. It was pretty terrible. I quit after like 30 minutes. I didn't even get to Jared Leto. It was that bad. And I just started watching random stuff on Pluto TV. Now I've got the Pluto TV app on my phone.
Isn't it great?
It's so great. And like I can just watch old Price is Rights and, all kinds of good old stuff like that. Last night, Jeff, they had a Detroiters marathon on.
Oh, no way.
So I watched Detroiters for like, I don't know, about 4 hours. Just as funny as it always, it's so funny. And I watched a bunch of music videos. Who would know? What is it with Pluto? Pluto's like TV used to be.
Yes.
You flip through and there's shit to watch.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
I watched a great match game the other day where Betty White. Now, I had always thought Betty White looked old from the minute I was a child, but she had to have been 50 in this episode. But she was funny, and Richard Dawson, and it was funny because Caitlin, my wife, is younger than me, and so she didn't watch these game shows. I bet her parents probably didn't watch them with her when they weren't on, right?
Right.
And she goes, "Are they all drunk?" I said, "Yes."
On Match Game, especially Match Game PM.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, the
They were
PM one.
definitely drunk on PM.
Yep.
On the regular Match Game, I think they maybe taped a few before they got drunk.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe every fifth game they're drunk.
Yeah.
But on the PM, every episode they're fucking loaded.
Yeah.
Match Game was great. Don't get me wrong, but there's nothing like watching Price is Right to make you remember pretending to be sick and staying home from school.
Yes.
And watching The Price is Right. Oh my God, I would be so jacked up. You're eating chicken noodle soup, pretending like you're sick. You're not.
Yep.
So you could watch it. And he's so funny. Bob Barker was the best.
He was.
He truly was.
I loved him, and I love Sale of the Century.
Yeah, Sale of the Century was great. And Let's Make a Deal.
Yep.
And that was a great show. My staff pick is a podcast. You remember the Morbid podcast? Has the Valley Girl sounding chicks, but they're from Boston. They're from Massachusetts or whatever. But they have Parcast has rolled some dollars into them and made a show, and it's called Crime Countdown. Mm-hmm. It's a fun little show. It's only like 30 minutes, and every week they count down like the top 10 most violent crimes in Australia, or the top 10 worst serial killer. It's just shit like that. Anyway, it's a crime countdown.
It's a good idea to encapsulate. There's so many true crime podcasts out there that to take one like this and just segment it every week to, okay, there's this and this. I like that take.
Yeah, and it's instead of them going down a rabbit hole with one story, you got 10 stories and they're all brief. They just tell you a little synopsis about them, and it's like you hear the thing goes number 10, and then they they talk about it. And the thing with Parcast, you can't swear, you can't really like on Morbid. They kind of go off in tangents sometimes, and it gets on my damn nerves. But on Parcast, they have to be very professional and just tell the story. So anyway, it's pretty good. It's called Crime Countdown.
Crime Countdown. Okay, thanks, Steph. Dustin?
Let's see. I watched WandaVision episode 4. And yeah, some of the theories were for mine were a little out there, but it looks like she's in control of everything outside of everyone else's will, and that's how. Do
you like
going on? And
the Asian FBI agent was the guy who played Kim Jong Un in The Interview.
Yeah, and they brought back Jeff's favorite actress for that episode as well.
Kat Dennings.
Mm-hmm. Doctor
Jeff loves her.
Kat Dennings now. But yeah, it's good. It's definitely. I think we're pushing more towards it exploding after this next episode. Seeing that it looks like it might get outside the bubble or stay outside the bubble and give a little more context to everything. So interested to see where it's going. Also watched The Dig on Netflix. Ray Fiennes.
Is that good?
Yeah, it is actually. It's the story of I think his name's Baron Brown, who was an excavator. He wasn't actually an archaeologist, but the lady who bought this large property right before the beginning of World War II. I mean, days or a few weeks before it started, for him to excavate this mound that was there, and it turned out to be the mound. The true story turned out to be the mound from the Middle Ages or from the Dark Ages.
You had him come over and excavate her mound.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was all up in her mound for a while. And yeah, it's good. It's slow burn, but I mean, if you like period pieces, it's an interesting period right before, literally, you can see planes coming in, throughout the entire run of the movie, which lasts for a period of probably 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
But it had to be, the excavation site had to be covered up when the war started, and then completely reburied so that it could not be messed up, and then brought back out again after the war. Good story. I enjoyed it. Also, I watched Star Trek Discovery. I had never watched Discovery, and with the advent of me finally getting the CBS All Access full time, besides the 7-day free time, I started getting into it a little more. I like it. I mean, it's a little more progressive, but it's neat. I like the show in the beginnings of the Klingons and how all that started. So I'm going to stick with it and catch back up. I got a few seasons now to hold me over. Also watched The Stand. Finally caught up to episode 7. I want to say I really like it, but it's one of those things that it's going to kind of really depend on how it ends as to how I really like it, because I mean, it's almost like a CW version of The Stand, in my opinion.
Nice.
It doesn't have the depth of character or even story.
Is Batwoman in it?
What was that? I'm sorry.
I said, are the Flash and Batwoman in it?
That would have only improved. The Flash, holy crap. His episode, I finally got to see him in a full episode. And that's just like, that's a very interesting interpretation of that character. That's all I got to say.
He's doing like Bobcat Goldthwait.
Bobcat Goldthwait on about a half pound of meth. Yeah. Yeah, that was, I mean, and they just run right through that story. I mean, that's the most trimmed down, slim version of all these plot points popping up. That, I mean, it's a little too obvious. But we'll see how it wraps up. It should be wrapping up in the next episode. Also, I watched, on going through HBO Max, I found out they carry the entire run of Head of the Class.
Oh, cool.
I hadn't seen in years. So they got all 5 episodes that dropped on there. I think it was today.
Seasons, you mean?
Yeah, seasons.
Seasons, yeah. All 5 seasons. And I watched the pilot episode and a few of them.
Did you get to watch? Did you realize Dennis Blunden was molesting everyone?
Well, that's the funny part. In the pilot episode, the first line that he says, besides a hello or a goodbye, the first thing that actually has a sentence to it is him defending a woman's honor, which I find hilarious. He's talking about you shouldn't be, they shouldn't be Googling these girls like this and tucking them to dances and just treating them like, inanimate objects. And I'm just like, wow.
Isn't he Britney's sister's baby daddy?
That's the allegation. But if you watch any of those shows he made or look at any of the pictures that were taken with Dan the Man Schneider, he's always touching their feet or he's having them play with their feet on the show. He's he's not doing anything anymore as far as I know.
Yeah, he's completely canceled out.
He was great as Ricky though, wasn't he?
Yeah. That was his shining moment, I believe. And my staff pick is next week on Netflix. The season 9 of Meat Eater comes out, and that's it's the guy that hunts and survives, and has done a few with Joe Rogan. They're fun outdoors.
I've seen that guy on Rogan. I haven't ever watched the show though. I'm gonna check that out.
He's really good. Yeah, he's very informative. I mean, he's really in depth and knows what he's talking about, and I think that's where Joe gets a lot of his making sure you eat everything you kill and being very conservative with the nature and what you do when you're in it.
Hey, that elk!
I always like them. So
that elk will fuck you up. Didn't we a couple of weeks ago make a joke? When are they going to have a show about glass blowing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's 2 seasons of Blown Away on Netflix. It's a Canadian glass blowing show, so I might check that out.
I tried to watch it.
You don't like it?
Nyeh.
Why is it nyeh?
I don't know.
You like the manly men pounding their metal, right?
Yeah, it's not swords. I mean, I either want to watch swords or cupcakes.
Well, somewhere in between swords and cupcakes lies glass blowing.
It's got a glory hole.
You just like anything that's blown.
With glory holes. I like any show that has glory holes in it.
Well, how did you say it?
We have a couple of Steph, but thank you, Steph. Or Dustin.
Yeah.
Steph went before Dustin. Thank you.
It doesn't matter. We're this.
It matters.
We're all one conglomerate.
Yes, it matters, goddammit. We have a couple staff picks from radios. We have Gus, who picked Relic, which I Googled because I didn't know what he was talking about. It is a 2020 Australian horror film that looks very interesting, and I may just watch it.
It does look good.
Yeah.
What's that, on Shudder or something?
No, Netflix.
Hulu.
Oh, Hulu.
Yeah, well, Hulu VOD right now, and then it'll probably be probably next month. It'll probably be free on the thing by then. But yeah, it's along the vein of the Babadook.
Neat.
Taking psychological.
Oh, wait, there's no screaming
issues.
kid in it, is there?
No,
I love the Babadook, but that kid was like a 2-year-old Mick Jagger screaming.
It's like you wanted what happened to the kid in Hereditary to happen to him.
Yeah. You little fucking Chris Makepeace looking fuck. That kid looked weird, and I hated him screaming. And then, all right, so let's check that out. And then counter to you guys, Roby says, here's my radio staff pick this week. When I first saw the commercial for The Little Things with Denzel Washington and Rami Malek, I first thought, did they remake Seven? They didn't. Available on Peacock until February 28th. It's a good watch with a surprise ending. I liked it. So you can fight with Roby about that.
I shan't. That's up to I'm not going to do that.
No, don't do
I'm glad he enjoyed it.
Coming up later in the week, we will drop our second show. That will be Saturday morning, and we'll be talking about a lot of cool stuff. Our buddies Waco and Roger, they got to deal with Netflix for Paradise PD, so that's cool, right?
That's a new show too. Paradise PD is continuing, but then they signed an overall Netflix, one of those cushy Netflix deals.
Oh, those development deals.
Yeah, like a development deal where they're doing another show.
Let's see if Waco will come on and spend a couple minutes with us and tell us about it.
Yeah, I asked him. I'll see what he says.
Yeah, man. I think about it. And what else do we have? Oh, yeah, we got the Mandalorian news, and we'll be paying a tribute to Dustin Diamond, who died today at 44.
That was, I know you were probably thinking, bitch, why do you put that mustache filter on? It was for Dustin.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty Sanchez.
Tribute, yeah.
Dirty Sanchez. All right, so it's 2021, and now it's time to thank our Radio Labyrinth Patreon producers. Are you curious about being a Radio Labyrinth Patreon producer? All you have to do is go to patreon.com/Tim Andrews. When I set up the Patreon, we didn't know the name of the show yet. So that's why it's never been changed. But it is the Radio Labyrinth Patreon page. And we have several members that we'd like to thank tonight. These are our producers. The producers come in at the $25 tier or higher. And you are a producer of the show. And everybody who's joined at that level has received a gift or a t-shirt and or whatever we were giving away at the time. And some of you people have been with us for a very long time. Orchestrated it into some tiers with some cool radio, because we call everybody that listens to the show a radio, right?
Right.
Yep. Right.
Yeah. So what I did is if you've been with the show 4 years or longer, you're a general manager. That means you can fuck off all day, wear a suit, and hide in your office.
What if you're... None of these are micro general managers. These are all cool people.
Yeah, well, they're cool general managers. They leave you alone. And then if you've been with the show 2 to 3 years, you are a program director, which means you pick the music from a very small list that some consultant, a bunch of idiots in a hotel decided they like to listen to. Those are the songs you have to play.
Doesn't sound bitter at all.
I'm not bitter. That's just the reality of radio. And then if you're less than 2 years, up to 2 years, let's say up, instead of less. Up is a nicer word. You're a DJ spinning those hits. You don't spin anything, you push a button. In fact, you don't have to push anything, you just stare at it. Hey, the computer is playing another song. That's all you got to do if you're a DJ. In fact, DJs now are like Marshmallow, and they play the noise, and for the young people.
You gotta spin it on the ones and the twos.
Yeah, the young kids. You don't have to. You don't take a record. If it's a 33 and a third record, you turn it a half turn because. And if it's a 45 LP, you put the thing in the middle, and you only go a quarter turn. But 45s were overplayed because they were the singles, and then they would have cue burn, which is why in the 70s and 80s, when you listen to the radio, that's because cue burn. There you go. You got a little lesson in radio. So. Without further ado, let's start with our general managers at 4 years or longer. We have Erick Malmstrom, who came on board in October of 2016.
Hey, Erick.
I mean, putting it in this perspective really shows you how dedicated and how awesome all of our listeners are. But wow. Also from October 2016, Tait.
Tait.
November 2016, Matt Carter.
Matt Carter, man.
Mm-hmm.
All these guys, yeah.
Guy.
I just want to say Erick Malmstrom and Matt Carter, they always support my dog stuff. I'm just throwing that in there. So not only do they produce the show, and they just always are so supportive like that.
Yeah, they're everyone that listens, man, you guys that are interactive like this, you guys are the best. And we don't say it enough, so we're going to say it every week. And then Chad Shepperd from October of 2017. Those are the OGs. Those are the GMs. You guys are the GMs.
Chad Shepperd had a Redbox Troll doll made for you for Christmas.
I know he did. Who has it?
He made it. The doll.
He has it. We never. No one. None of us. What?
I don't think he gave it to you. I think he showed it.
He showed it to me. I was hoping he was going to give it to us. Like, no, it's mine.
He paid like $150.
It's a big high-ticket item.
It's pretty fucking cool. That's all I can.
Yeah.
All right, so our program directors coming in at 2 to 3 years. We have the great Shawn Hall, who was one of the last people I actually did something with outside of the house last year. We went to see the rugby game, which was really cool over in Cobb County, Marietta. We had a lot of fun. No one seemed to be. I was nervous because I'm a nervous Nelly. But right before all the shutdown started happening, Shawn Hall and his family were there, and we got to go. And Shawn came with me. Mike TV's husband. So Shawn Hall's been with us since April of 2018. Awesome guy. Thank you. Mike D. August 2018. Also a great guy. Thank you. John Southerland, from a big fan of not only Radio Labyrinth, but also the Von Hessler Doctrine. Awesome guy. He came to see me do that show down in East Atlanta when I was baked. Just sat there and had a good time. He was awesome. I had a beer with him. He's been around since December of 2018. Also got me that really cool kiss thing that I did, with Trump. Anyway, so thank you. DJ, spinning the hits up to 2 years. I'm going to do this. We got Tim Slaton coming in November 2019. Tim Slaton, thank you very much, Tim Slaton. We've got Chris Chandler, who dropped in December of 2020. Thank you very much, Chris Chandler. Todd Ellis joined. 1 year anniversary right now, celebrating his 1 year anniversary. Todd Ellis, January 2020. And then wrapping it up, there's Roby Neely, who came on board in November 2019. Had to take a break because of the COVID economy. But now he's back and he's producing the show. So thank you very much, Roby Neely. You can do without you.
Thank you, guys.
We do have 2 assistant producers I want to give honorable shout-outs to. And that'd be Emily Warren, who came on board in May 2018, and Buck Monterey. What a great name. You should be a disc jockey. Hey, Buck, you ever thought about being a disc jockey? It's Buck Monterey coming at you. Buck Monterey spinning the hits here from December of 2017. So that's everybody. Thank you, guys. That is everybody. Those are our producers.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
Yes, and if you donate at any level, stick around because, we can give you a crappy little thing where it scrolls by so fast you can't. No one. But thank you guys very much, and please stick with us. We're going to keep making content for you and shows for you. And so, Steph, why don't you tell us what's going on with the dogs?
Well, I'm getting a puppy Wednesday.
Uh-oh, your very own puppy?
Yeah, no, to foster.
Oh.
A little hound puppy. You guys know I had to put my dog to sleep not too long ago. I was sad. And then I was going to take another foster a week before last. And then I came home and my other dog was covered in shit. And he slung it and shit went in my mouth. and in my eyes and in my hair. And so then
I call the episode Shit Mouth.
So I decided that I couldn't do it. I just couldn't handle it right then. So then this puppy came up, and I said, all right, I'll do the puppy. So I'm getting a puppy Wednesday, and I think maybe Thursday, maybe I'll bring him on screen and let you see him, because he's a little spud. He's only like 8 weeks old.
I'm gonna go get one at a flea market.
Had a dog. We bought a dog at a flea market. She lived to be almost 17. She was dumb as a box of rocks.
That's frowned upon these days, though. Go and rescue a dog. Continue.
You're rescuing them if you're getting them from a flea market. Honest to God, you are rescuing.
Eat them.
Yeah. If you buy a dog out of the back of a truck, you're rescuing it.
All right. So I guess if you buy a dog from any person that's selling an animal like that, then you are rescuing the dog.
No, for sure. It's only when you're going to a breeder and you're paying $500,000, $2,000. No, you're not rescuing a dog.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, MarkvilleDogRescue.org. Right. However, I say all this, and I'm such a hypocrite, but if I did have the money, I probably would drop $3,000 on a French bulldog.
So there's nothing wrong with that.
That's just the one, but that's it. That's the only dog I would ever do that with.
Would you want that one that's named Walter that's on Instagram? You ever see Walter the Frenchie?
Oh my God. Yeah, I follow.
I do too. Wouldn't that dog drive you nuts though?
He's so cute.
I know. I'm like, now stop it. But Walter the Frenchie is a fun follow. And I keep interrupting you during the dog.
No, I'm just, MarkvilleDogRescue.org. That was it. And I'm getting a puppy. And I'll talk more about it. It'll be cuter when I'm holding the puppy, and I'll talk about it Thursday.
All right.
You'll be just like Alf's mom.
Oh, no, look, puppy, quit pooping on the ground. All right, well, we'll be back.
Asparagus.
Hey. We will be back with you later in the week with another show. So please, until that time, remember to keep it
It's